sisters with me.
Hey, happy Friday, happy Friday.
Hey.
You are now tuned into Ladies Night Radio Show. It's your girl, Mysterious Jax, coming to you live from the Good News Studio. Also here with me are my beautiful and amazing co-hosts, the ladies.
Hey, happy Friday.
Am I muted? I am. Starting
No,
the show off
you're
wrong.
not. We can hear you.
Well, you know who this is. It's Crazy Marie up in the house. As you know, the party doesn't start till I get in, so we are officially starting. We got a lot of hair on this.
All right, and we got a special surprise co-host return from grad school over here.
We
Shout out,
made
shout
it.
out.
Hey, y'all. It's Mari on the mic. Feels good to be here. Happy Friday. Feliz Viernes to everybody out there.
Mari, welcome back.
I know. It's been a minute.
It's not an official welcome back
I
because
know.
you're just doing a guest appearance
Yeah.
while you take some time before you start school and work and
Yes.
craziness and grad school and, you know, just
trying to get my life together in one
everything.
day.
Yeah.
In 24 hours.
Well, we are so happy to have you. You know, how does it feel to be back on the mic?
It feels good. I thought I was going to be nervous and scared. I guess I still am. We'll see what happens.
You know what? Now
I feel like you can't fire me. You know, I feel like that employee's like, I already quit. Gets all disgruntled.
That feeling should never go. I always
Yeah.
still get butterflies and excitement when I'm about to go
Yeah.
live. Like every time I press like live, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And
I
just like
feel
when
it.
I play softball on co-ed team, I still have that butterfly feeling. If you don't have it, if it doesn't give you that feeling, then you shouldn't be doing it.
That's what they say. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's a good thing, you know, like a
Right.
good reminder.
Well, welcome back for
Thank
now.
you.
And you know you're more than welcome to stop by anytime.
Yeah, I know.
And
huh?
and just for those of you that know, you know, Madi has her Madi's Minute segment. She will be talking some shit for a minute. So just FYI.
educate the people.
Yeah, but also before we start the show, you know I gotta go ahead and introduce today's special guest. Now these gentlemen are a funny duo right here. They're entertaining, and they are actually one of the newest shows just added to the Good News Network. So if you've been watching us on the gram, you know that we've been kind of doing taking applications and doing interviews, and we finally have added 3 shows, and this is one of them. They are an amazing duo. They almost didn't get on it because they sent, you know, when you got a paper due at like on Friday and it's like, you know, like Friday at 11:59 p.m.
Yep.
and you send it. Yeah, that was them. They sent it like
Yeah.
that, and
Like,
they ended up barely
why
getting the interview, but they killed it on their interview. That's why they're here. And you know, that shout out to EJ and TJ from Just a Dope Ass Podcast.
Yep, we here.
All right, tell them who's who, because I'm sitting in front of you and I always still get your names mixed up. Tell them who's who.
I'm TJ.
Oh shit.
And I'm EJ.
Okay.
That sounded way more epic in my head, but like
Yeah. I don't know. You know what it is? We haven't got our rapper intros yet. You know, rappers, they always have
Yeah, I
7
gotta-
names and like they
I
shout
gotta
out
get-
people.
I
We
gotta
got to
get
get a
my-
rapper
Like the
intro.
ad-libs
Okay.
in the
That's
background.
gonna be my
I
shit.
need my
That's
aliases
what I'm gonna
together.
do.
All right, that's a good idea actually.
Yeah, I'm like, that's it. We got to get like a whole list of shit because
No, yeah,
rappers
man,
be like,
I-
yo, it's your boy, Lil Stomach Ache, aka
Yeah,
Lil-
no.
Stomach.
Oh my God.
No, I got one. I
Stomach
think I got Young Sleep.
Yeah, there you go.
You have
All right.
another one too. You're Chad.
Oh,
Chad Awesome words.
Chad
you
so
go.
awesome or Chad awesome?
No, just Chad Awesome. Chad
Just
Awesome.
Chad.
Okay.
yeah, but we happy to be here though.
Yeah.
Jackie got us here.
I didn't really pay attention when we was drinking Wild Turkey, but yeah,
I didn't even.
we out here living.
I
gotta
don't
go
even
back
know
to
what
work,
happened.
nigga. I gotta go back to work. I'm on my lunch break at
Just
work.
That's why you
Wow.
need it.
Just
Whoop,
sip it. That's what I do throughout the show. Just
Man,
sip
look,
it.
My boss ain't there. I'm about to go
Yeah.
back. I'm about
Boss
to
is
go
tuning
back.
in right now.
Okay,
I
let
know,
me know
right?
how
Me
much
at the
time
house.
do we have you with us?
What time is it? What time is it?
So you got 6 minutes.
7:38.
7:38. We got like 45 minutes.
All right.
45 to an
Oh,
hour.
okay, that's good enough.
Yeah, yeah.
All
so
right.
We got time. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, all right. Really quick. So, if people that want to like start listening to you guys from, you know, the Good News, tell them a little bit what they can expect when they listen to Just a Dope Ass Podcast /show now.
Everything.
Hey, I was about
Everything.
to say it's nothing that we can say that'll like prepare anybody for dealing with us. You just kind of got to be around us, and then you'll experience it because it's an experience
Okay.
to be around us. Like,
Yeah.
it's an experience. So yeah, you just got to kind of be around and be involved.
No, yeah,
So-
I've got that question like the last couple of days, and it's just like it just swings. What do y'all talk about? Honestly,
Everything.
bro, it depends what day it is.
Right.
Yeah, how we
Yeah.
feeling.
Everything.
So yeah, it's everything is open. It's nothing off limits on our show. Like our first show, we told a Holocaust joke. Yeah, so-
Y'all took it there.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's a good joke though. Y'all,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna tell it on here because Jackie
Oh, yeah,
didn't
no,
like
I
what I
for sure
told
did,
it.
yeah.
So, but it's a good joke. Y'all should go.
Wait,
listen to that.
Jackie,
Yeah.
what?
You didn't like when I told the joke.
Oh, that's right. I did hear it already.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. Go ahead and say it.
Oh nah, just listen to the podcast. Listen to the show.
All
That's
right.
how we
Yeah.
gonna
All
do
right.
it.
Enough
Listen to
said.
the
Enough
show.
said. Well, welcome to Ladies' Night. I hope you guys get the experience of what it is to be at a ladies' night, and this is what it is. We about to
Be here. That's
get
what it
lit.
is.
Yeah, there's drinks.
Yep.
You know,
I
and
got
you
me
know,
a drink. I was fighting it at first because they got whiskey, and I don't know if y'all know men get whiskey dick. I
Oh,
don't know.
what,
if
is
y'all
that
know
really a thing?
Yeah, that's really a thing. So I drink too much of this.
Dang.
that's not
If I go out with a woman,
100% right.
who? I'm speaking for myself.
He said
I'm just-
who? He's trying to get answers.
No, I'm me personally. I'm if I drink whiskey, I'm going home to fuck you with a rubber band, boo.
Oh,
This nigga
no.
not-
You're not going nowhere, first of all.
It's not- we not.
We have time to talk about this.
No, we got to jump into the cheese.
Let's go.
the cheese. Whoa, with that.
Show conversation.
She wrote it down and she took a note of it. We're going to get back to
Look at
it.
the wire.
That's a way to start it. That's a way to start it. All right. Well,
And that's being on our show.
let's start off with our first segment of the day with such cheese, man.
Che, Fidelia, mira, yo tengo una clase de chisme de otro mundo.
No me diga, nena, cuéntame.
So pretty much what chisme is, I'm sure you guys kind of got it. It's gossip. It's what it is translated into.
The tea, basically.
You grew up in LA. You should know what chisme is.
Yeah, I caught some of the words.
I mean, I knew
but
what it
then
was. I just
she
was
started
so locked
dancing
into the video.
and I stopped listening.
Hey, hey, hey.
Like she's
know.
dancing.
You know when
because
you
she
got some
knows-
good ass
Yeah.
tea, you be like, "Ooh, girl, I gotta tell you something." You start
Yeah.
dancing. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into
Yep.
some.
No, I don't have that. Because nigga rock up to me till they say, bro, I got all the tea. Get out.
No, that's why it's ladies' night. You
Yeah.
guys are sitting in on
Here,
ladies'
here.
night. Okay, this is what we do.
You're right. Let's go. I'm a fly on the wall.
All right.
man,
So
it's
first,
my
our story
show me.
is Brazilian Pran's escape. So did you guys hear about the Brazilian gangster who had the brightest idea to ever to dress up as his 19-year-old daughter
Oh
using
my
a wig,
God.
silicone mask, and a pink shirt in hopes of escaping prison?
So scary.
He made it pretty far until he became nervous and started moving around to the point where his costume became exposed. So he ended up getting sent to solitary confinement, and later they found out that he hung himself in his jail cell.
Wow.
Supposedly it's suicide, but there's so many incidents that happen at this prison, so we really don't know.
No.
Did you guys see the picture?
Yeah, it was that video of him taking it all
That
off.
shit.
Like when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh man, this whoever this is like just got a freaky operation, went like and did
Yeah.
the bleaching thing." But then when we started pulling off all the thing, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like people can really be out here dressed like that, and you wouldn't really know because there's so
Right.
much cosmetic surgery.
Right.
No, 100%.
Bro
I
was
mean,
almost a legend.
yo.
Yeah, he
bro
was
was
so
you would have
close.
been the greatest.
Yo,
if
bro
you-
was almost a legend.
I know.
I don't know. That shit is scary though. To me, that's scary. Like the idea that you can transform your face. Even when I watch movies, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah, and they take
shit,
off
that's yeah. When
And they can because
that-
they can do it in the studios.
so that's my idea. Is like, what about if somebody just decided to do that shit and rob a bank? Like, what
Right.
about they did the shit before they did the crime?
Well,
you
they
don't
should
even
just
know.
invite me, but
Yeah, I'm gonna let
We
you
all
do
trying
that
to get
one.
a cut.
We got grad school costs. I know
I
we
know.
do.
So I got some
think
more-
that's crazy. That yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I got some more
crazy.
cheeseman for you.
here you go.
Have you guys heard of this one? The bro strangles the sis. Apparently, this happened back in February. Let me tell you about this guy who strangled his sister over the Wi-Fi password. He wanted to play his video games and was afraid that someone else is using the Wi-Fi would slow down the service. So what does he do? He changes the password. His mom gets on his case about it, and when he looks like he's about to hit her, his sister jumps in to defend her. That's when he grabs her by the neck, holds her in a chokehold, and 15 minutes. So by the time she got
15 minutes?
to the hospital, like I think she was dead.
7 minutes without air, you're gone.
Yeah.
7
wait,
minutes without air.
the mom couldn't do anything for 15 minutes?
I guess what have you ever been so in like rage and you like nobody can really control you or like?
Hell no, I would have went and got
Stab.
a few pots and
Yeah,
pans.
to the,
But
to
I
the
think-
dome or
I think as a
something.
mom, you also don't realize he's gonna kill his sister. I don't think he's ever gonna get to that level. Like I've seen my brothers and sisters. We've all fought.
Yeah.
We've but we know when to stop ourselves.
never
And you
Like
think
restraint.
we've stopped each
This
other.
nigga sound like he might be crazy as fuck.
Yeah,
I feel
that
like
sounds
when
like
a
a
nigga was-
sociopath.
Yeah, when you 5 minutes into the chokehold, I would have been like,
Can
damn,
I
he
ask
might not be
Yes.
letting her go.
Can
Like,
I
that
ask
might be
about
my
the?
thing.
Can I
5
ask about the
minutes.
race?
They black.
They're black.
They black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew the
Well,
story.
I know,
you
I-
I
if-
thought that
if I
was
didn't-
not. That was not.
If I didn't
what
read the
was
story, I
thinking.
would have thought they were white
Me
too.
too. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
on. We can't be doing that. We
Yeah.
can't be doing that.
Yeah, that was a
We
bad
can't.
one.
That's wild.
Jeez, I
He's
know you
showing
play
some
video
signs of
games.
that,
Have you
though.
ever been that mad at
Nah,
somebody?
bro, you crazy. Like, we used to, you crazy.
Why are
as
you
fuck.
laughing at
Nah,
TJ?
yeah, let's go ahead and wrap that up. You
Okay,
crazy as
okay.
shit.
He's like, that's it. Let's
No,
move on.
You don't know TJ Mama. That's why.
Oh no, like
Oh.
like that's where I
Mama.
was getting to. Like the day I'm like, even like I feel like I'm a sizable man over my mom right now. My mama would hit me with a whole vase, like a whole bunch of shit
moms.
before.
Whatever's
Like,
handy.
It was like over 5 minutes. I like, yo, we got 15 seconds of hard
Yeah.
choke. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You might not get past raising your voice too loud, Mom. Yeah,
Yeah.
you might
Damn.
not get past.
I don't even like. I don't relate to the story at all. Like, not like I was like, wow,
I can't relate.
Yeah,
that's
I don't really play
crazy.
video games anyways. All right. Well, their last chisme is the biggest raid. That's right. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials say that 680 people were arrested after 7 agricultural plants were raided in Mississippi. 300 of those individuals have been released. The terms of the workers' releases were unclear. It was also unclear whether any of those released were determined to be living in the country legally. Officials say that they took steps to ensure that the children were properly cared for. And a representative for Homeland Security started that they notified local schools and provided details to any children whose parents did not pick them up. So how do you guys feel about that? Like, there's so much craziness going on with that. Also really quick, during the raid, a young girl is heard weeping, at which time officers allowed her to see her mother. Due to her mother being her only legal guardian, and because this girl is a U.S. citizen, her mother will not be deported. But so many other kids were...
Oh, wow.
Did you hear about that? This is one of the biggest raids.
Yeah, it was really sad. I think, like, I could get the politics. Some people cite that, like, oh, it's, it's politics, it's paperwork, it's this. But it's like, how are you as an actual human being going to pick up an actual human being knowing that they have to care for an actual human being? Like, how do you do that? How do you go to somebody's job? It's not like they're out here, like, getting them when they're committing crimes.
You don't.
Like, they're
That's my
getting them
biggest...
when they're
that's
getting
my thing,
jobs.
too.
No,
It's
no,
like,
no.
they're
Bitch, you-
working.
You knew I was at a
don't.
9 to 5. Why the fuck you show up in my job for? Like, you knew that was a
Yeah.
trap. That's a trap.
And my thing is, like, they're targeting just Latinos. Like, there's obviously more races and
There's
nationalities
Irish
out here
people,
illegally.
there's
But
people
they
from
are
Germany,
targeting our
there's-
Latino people out
I
here.
was just saying that earlier this
Like,
morning.
All
Yes.
the immigrants don't come from Latin America.
Right.
Bet they
Like-
won't start deporting Europeans.
Yeah.
Right.
Bet they won't start deporting
Right.
Europeans. Bet none of these
The
Canadians ain't
Canadians-
gonna go nowhere.
Yeah.
None of these Canadians that
Yeah.
coming over here ain't going no motherfucking place. And my thing is this. Who belong in this bitch? Everybody immigrated to this
Yeah.
motherfucker. And number 2, I'm not for arresting people for crossing invisible lines. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even, conceptually, I don't even understand passports. I got to pay you to carry around this piece of paper to cross invisible lines that's
Yeah.
just
It's
all
money.
land that you stole from somebody else. Like,
Right.
fuck you.
And the other thing is, like, they took all these people from this one job, right? Oh, it's like, where the fuck y'all gonna get your chicken at? Like, where the fuck are y'all gonna get your eggs at?
Really?
Where are y'all gonna get your lettuce from? Like, you're gonna go out there and pick it? Like,
Prices are gonna
and
get
they're not-
high. You better be
like,
ready.
where are all the white people screaming that they're having their jobs taken from them? Like, go get one right now. You have like 600
So many
jobs open.
opportunities.
You don't want to do them. They don't want to do them. Like,
They
I
don't.
swear to God, nobody's going to
I've
do
never
the
understood.
jobs that they want to take from these people. You're not going to
Yeah.
pick no motherfucking cherries, strawberries, oranges, none of that shit. Because number 1, you can't go out in the sun for longer than 15 minutes. So that's number 1. And,
Damn, why you gotta do them like that?
No, in reality-
yeah, they're
like,
that's
in
true.
reality, you don't even naturally, like, by God standards, you can't even do the job that these people do.
Yeah.
Like, God won't allow you to do it. You're going to get skin cancer.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's
You
crazy.
really
Like,
can't
to
be
know
without-
God don't fuck with you, real
God
heavy,
won't
like-
allow you to
Yeah.
even, like, you getting rid of all the Mexicans. Strawberries going to be $2,000 each one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not finna have a $1,800 orange. Fuck
Yeah.
you. No.
Right. That's why so many people are like starting their own gardens now in their like backyards and stuff.
That should take forever.
I know it does. But my brother actually started Junior, and last time he brought like a bunch of like, what did he bring? Blueberries, strawberries.
He
He brought.
a big backyard.
He has a pretty big backyard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he does. And last time I think he had mint too. And he was putting the mint in his drinks with his like, what was it, like a gentleman's jack, and
Yeah, put it in.
he was
there.
getting fancy with his drinks. I was like, oh, excuse me, Mr. Organic Alcoholic over here. And I was
Damn.
kidding. He's not alcoholic. I'm not alcoholic.
Organic alcohol.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You a free range lush. I dig it.
he's getting his own mint from his own backyard.
That's some fancy.
Anyways, well, that wraps up today's Chisme, just in case y'all didn't know.
Oye, Fidelia, mira, yo tengo una clase de chisme de otro mundo. No me digas.
I love that video. It's
I've
hilarious
never
to
had
me.
a conversation I've been that excited about, which lets me know I've been talking the wrong shit.
Clearly ain't been saying the right
Damn.
shit.
Yeah. When you see some girls get together and they're like, oh my God, they get excited. They're like dancing. Like, I got some stuff to tell you.
Nah,
Yeah.
men do it too.
Okay.
Men do it too.
Okay.
Men.
See, don't make us feel like we're the only ones.
Sorry.
Yeah, we do it too.
All right. Well, the next segment is one of my favorites. Y'all already know is
Oh my
game
gosh.
time.
Hey. We have no right.
So no, thanks for that. All the time.
A little plug.
Right. Anyways, so we usually play a game. It's either a truth or shot, or loaded questions, or it's always something like
The 3 second or the 5 second rule.
the 5 second rule. Today we are launching a new game. It's called the Mystery Box. Yes. Are you guys excited for Mystery Box?
Hell no. I hate mysteries.
You gotta touch to see what's inside.
You gotta,
of it.
yeah, you gotta put your hand and touch it and see what's inside of it. There's some
All right,
holes in it.
bet.
No, I'm just kidding.
Some holes?
No.
There's some hoes in there.
I don't know
Okay.
what to say, like,
What?
you gotta-
Hot girl summer stuff
So
out here.
what's funny is they don't even know what's in the box. So this
No.
game is gonna be for you
A
four.
little nervous.
And what it is, everybody's gonna get 3 questions. Okay, you have to find out.
Okay.
Whoever wins is gonna win this bottle of wine. How about
All right,
that?
bet.
So you're gonna
Okay.
get this prize. Whoever decides, whoever wins it. So everybody gets 3 questions.
To see. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make it interesting. I'm gonna go around the room. So everybody's gonna go with their first question, their second question, and their third question. After the third question, you only have 2 chances to. Why are you? Maria, you get so red every time it's game time. Can you relax? Chill.
Because I want to win.
I know.
Regardless if it was a bottle
She-
of wine or not. I am so
Okay.
competitive. But
All right.
he over here is getting all nervous. He's already starting to strategize.
The only
Like,
thing,
to
the only
side.
people that know what's in here is me and my producer Kosi. So the 4 of you do not know what's in this box, and feel free if you guys are in the chat box to go ahead and help them out. You can get on Team Madi, Team TJ, Team EJ, or Team Maria. And if your team wins, then you got to shout them out.
Let's go.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna start
I
with
don't-
Madi.
Oh my
Right
gosh.
now, we're just doing 3 rounds of questions.
So one question at a time.
But here's the tricky part: you can only ask me yes or no questions. So I'm only saying yes or no.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I just saying one question and then we're going another round?
Yes.
Second question.
Yes. All right. First question.
Wait, can I just touch it first?
No, you can't touch it. No.
That's what she.
I can't-
Saying,
And I can't. I gotta know if it's real. Can I shake it?
yeah.
Can
No.
I shake the box?
No. Well,
Can you shake the box?
I didn't come up with that rule. Should we shake? How about the third round? I'll let you guys shake it.
Okay.
First round.
All right. Do you use this object at night?
Yes. All right, TJ.
Oh shit.
Yes
Do
or
you-
no questions?
Do you use this object to clean something?
No. That's a good question.
Can't you just tell me what it is?
No. What a waste of a question.
That wasn't a waste. That was a good question. I need to know.
Go ahead.
Is it something you use on your vajayjay?
No. I hope not. I mean,
Said
some
it's not
people
for
might-
cleaning. He says it's not for cleaning. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, nighttime.
So it took that out.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Question number 2.
Do you use this object on a body part?
No.
Is it expensive?
No.
Is it something you use alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it something you use in the shower?
No. Look at EJ's face. That's crazy Maria for you. That's
She
crazy
said that so-
Maria.
she said that so powerful.
In the shower?
All right.
She's telling
shit.
us something
You
right
cannot.
now.
You cannot open it, but you can just shake it around. Do
it
not
around.
let them open it.
Okay.
I'm watching you, EJ. Don't be trying to open it.
Oops.
Gonna bake me. Ain't that so?
So right now they have the box
Hard.
in
This
their
is- I'm like trying
in their
to-
hand. Maddie has it in her hand. She's like,
I'm kind of feeling around for it.
yeah. Okay, this is your final question.
Okay. Is this object belong in the kitchen?
Yes.
Fuck. Now I can't ask any questions though.
That's it. But that's a good question.
I hate everybody over here.
You should record her. Look at her.
Ew, y'all better get it before she does. I can't stand when she wins.
I don't know what that shit is.
TJ, what's your question? No, it's a question right now.
Oh, is it I don't know. Is it a bottle opener?
No.
Oh, fuck.
She says
very
no.
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Is it a can opener?
No.
All right.
So what is it?
Yo, she gotta know what it is because like it was a victory lap and everything.
I was gonna say that or that.
Well,
It's close. It got the weight. You gotta think of something else that got the same weight.
Oh my God! Be careful! You're gonna
she
open the box.
listening to it
The
and shit?
hand.
Hopefully it
it's-
wasn't
the
liquor.
mystery box is now in Maria's hand. She is trying to figure out what it is. She's shaking it. Okay.
This
What's your final question?
A can opener. No, he said a
You know-
can opener. No, a cork
That wasn't a
opener.
question. That wasn't a question. though.
It
That
needs a
wasn't
yes
question.
or no question.
Okay, is
wasn't
it
a
a
question.
cork opener?
Yes.
Because technically it's not a bottle.
Open it so they can see it. Oh, it's a wine
Oh,
opener. I was gonna give it to you. It's a bottle opener,
High five.
but
I was in the ballpark.
I would like to say
Nah,
no.
I want to challenge that. I want to challenge that one. I want to challenge that one on
Yeah,
behalf
we
of my brother. I
challenge.
think a bottle opener.
I was gonna give it to him, but my producer says no.
That was an man. You have the game rigged. You just wanted-
She over here throwing.
Oh, this
You know, with
nepotism
all
and this
honesty-
motherfucker. Oh no, man.
He said nepotism.
Yeah, me and TJ was.
Bottle opener.
Yeah.
What other bottle opener is it? Because that's what I would have said.
Like
When
a
you
soda,
said no
like
to
you know,
can-
one of those bottle Coca-Colas.
But that's the wine. That doesn't do that.
That's why I was looking at him. Yeah.
That's why I said no.
So.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's what I would have said.
Okay.
A bottle opener.
Hey Maria, you won the first mystery box game.
Wow.
So you win the wine
I feel
bottle.
like you have to say you got to go first next time with the questions. That way, the person at the other side.
Okay, I don't mind. Who likes wine? You guys want-
Everybody likes
Are
wine.
you guys gonna drink it though?
Everybody likes wine.
Everybody.
The producer is saying no.
Ew.
What happened?
She said no.
said no.
Why no?
No, she didn't say no. She said
She
open
just
it.
said no.
No. Hey,
Girl, look.
Dang.
All right, move the box out the way.
open up
Maria. We
your
don't want that
cheaters.
box.
Open up your cheating wine.
All right, well, that wraps up game time. Good job, ladies. That's our new game
we
called
kept it
Mystery
civil.
Box. And the next time we play that, we're going to actually have a prize box. So, well, she won a prize, but next time I'm going to have a box just of prizes that you get to choose from.
Yeah.
So that is the first launch of Mystery Box. All right, so we're going to go ahead and, Madi, you ready for your minute?
Yes.
All right, we're
Just
going to
a
go
few things
ahead.
to say.
We're going to do Madi's minute. So, Madi, go ahead. You got 1 minute to talk your shit. Whatever you want to say, you got 1 minute. And
Oh my
go.
god, I'm never in these 60 seconds though. You guys know me. All right, y'all. So just a few things to recap the week. Yes, there was 2 mass shootings within 13 hours that happened over the weekend, and yet those same people that are shouting that we need to protect America from immigrants be the same people that are silent as hell as far as banning assault rifles that have killed multiple people in multiple mass shootings. Actually, the most mass shootings ever recorded in the U.S. history this year alone, and we're the only industrialized country that has this many deaths per guns. And it's just interesting because somebody said I'm voting for the tax cuts, not racism, and it's actually the same thing. It's a package deal. Y'all better be registered to vote. Y'all better make sure your votes are heard. It is not okay to let certain things just slide. In other good news, the Trump administration is actually trying to sue California because California is coming up with this new bill that the president has to release their 5 years of tax returns.
That's right.
And so right now he's like, well, that's unconstitutional. We all know why. Why are you trying to be so shady and hide all your tax returns? We just want to see where the money is, right?
Right.
So make sure you're voting. Make sure you're up to date with that. But in bigger world news, if you thought, America was screwed, globally we are, right? We have a huge water crisis going on all over the world because of climate change. Many countries are reaching their day zero, which means that their country will no longer have access to water. That's insane, right? Because we just keep drinking water bottles here, and we don't seem to care about all that stuff. And another big positive is that Uber actually announced that they lost $5 billion this last quarter in net earnings. And many of you know that their CEO is a Trump supporter. And so many people all over started this movement where they deleted their Uber app. I don't have it. I don't use it personally. Use Lyft. Use anything else. Don't use Uber.
Uber, really?
Yeah, spend your money wisely, y'all. Don't be, if you're going to be about it, because a lot of people out here preaching that they're woke and they're doing all these things, but you're still putting money into the pocket of people that are supporting Trump campaigns.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that really quick. I want to touch that about that because I have a friend who works for Equinox. He's a trainer. He gets a lot of money.
Is in the news too.
And he's posting that because the owner of Equinox is like funding,
putting on a huge
putting in money for right.
event.
So there was like a president of like the fitness area, and so a lot of the trainers in there are speaking up like, we do not agree with what our CEO is doing. And so he, as a trainer, makes, I guess they get commission. That's how they make their money. And he said, as I guess Chrissy Teigen posted something online like, all my friends, if you guys have Equinox, cancel your membership.
Yeah.
And so he was posting like kind of upset, like, I understand like there's so many people that have done stuff wrong and then you guys forgive them the next day. Like, you guys are messing with my money. Like, I'm not trying to say I agree with Trump. I'm not trying to say I agree with the CEO of the company. But at the end of the day, this is my job. This is where I make my income. This is how I feed myself, my daughter, whatever. So like it's like how do we find a balance in this? And so he brought up a good point because Uber is like, they fund like a lot of people make money off of that.
Yeah. But there's other things that they can do.
There is.
Like, you have to be all the way about it. Like, you're over here crying that this is the only income, but you live a very privileged life, that you are privileged enough to be Equinox.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere else. And I know it might be inconvenient, but it's not as inconvenient as having your human rights stripped.
Yes.
So
That's
you can
true.
go cry me a river somewhere else.
That's true.
I was gonna say, is your friend white, black?
He's
Mexican?
black. He's a black trainer.
Yeah, he's just overprivileged. Like, as a
That's
black
possible.
Man, like,
you're right.
you're speaking from a position that you don't even have. Like, you're speaking from convenience. You're speaking.
This be the
from
same man
a
that
cushy-
it's against you and your people. Like, how are you saying like, oh, your money matters more than your human rights?
No, we all ain't gonna make it. That's just it. Like, we all not gonna make it. Like, when it come down to it, every one of us that's black and got melanin and pigment, we all ain't gonna make it. And it's nice to act like it is, but when it come down to it, like, a lot of us just ain't about it.
Right.
That's why shit has continued and progressed and even gotten to this point. It's just a lot of motherfuckers just ain't about it. Some of y'all willing and y'all want to conform to be around and be over there because life is easier when you're with them and you don't have to go through certain things. But guess what? You'll never ever be able to be true to yourself. You'll never ever be able to be real to yourself. And even you can make all the money in the world, but you're still gonna be unhappy because what you are is not what you are.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
think
the problem,
integrity.
so.
How much is your integrity worth? Is it your salary?
Exactly.
Because I feel like I don't know. I think it's tough. I can't even imagine.
You
I
got
don't
what
have
you
a
needed
kid.
out of that.
I don't have a kid. I don't have that
No.
job. But I just feel like you have to put it in perspective, and that's really how they keep you involved in the system. It's like, well,
No, and I get it. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, that's a
good point.
It's a good point because like, I mean, he has a daughter, but I mean, at the same time, like, okay, give him like, I don't know. I'm just like,
I'm a father too. I'm a father too.
So
and
what
so
if
for me,
you work
I'm
for
not
ESPN? So what if right now you found out from the ESPN is? Oh, just kidding. You don't?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But, no, I still have to have my morals. Like, I still have to stand
let's say
on
your
something.
company, all of a sudden you woke up tomorrow and there's like a big headline that says that your CEO of your company is funding Trump. You're going to quit right there?
I have to start looking for a new job.
Start looking, yes, is one thing.
Because this is my thing. I have to. And number one, for your friend, like, kind of like she said, you worked at Equinox, you worked at the best of the best. If you wanted to go freelance as a trainer, as most trainers actually fucking do,
right?
That's why I say your position that you're speaking from is one of comfort, is one that you're in a cushy position, and you don't want to give up your comfort blanket.
Yeah.
But in reality, though, more trainers want to go independent than more want to work for somebody.
True, that's true.
And after you've gotten what you're supposed to get from somewhere, that's like going to college to get a degree. You don't go to college to stay there forever because it's a great institute of learning. You go there to get what you need to be able to go on in life. That's the same way we have to look at certain jobs and certain professions. His profession allows him to be independent in making his money. I guess that is why we don't show him as much leeway.
Yeah.
And you going, oh no, please don't attack this person who's providing for me when you have every opportunity to provide for yourself.
That's so
Those
true.
that are driving Uber, a little different. Completely understand because of how you're making your money is very few employers that are just going to let you drive your car, make your own hours, not really do too much as far as like make you jump through hoops to get the job.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a different thing. But for that, I mean, I would start looking for a new job. I've had disagreements with bosses and managers that didn't even own the company, and I was just like, I can't work for you because I know how you see me.
Yep.
I know what you see when you look at me.
Oh my God, yeah.
So when I come to you and tell you, hey, my kid has a graduation that I need to go to, well, I know you don't look at me as a human being, so I know you don't look at anything of me as a human being, so no, you don't feel like this is important for me. So yes, I would need to get away from that environment. I would do what I have to do to get away from it.
Speak it. All right, I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that.
All right, yes. I agree. Who say yes? Second.
Well, that wraps up Marty's Minute.
DJ.
a little something. for
One
you
more
to
thing
simmer
before
on.
we jump in. Yeah, good job, Maria.
She had to write it on
so
the
Maria
tip.
had to write down our guest names because their names sound so similar. EJ, TJ,
And I'm horrible with names.
me too. I
was
I
so
know.
hard. How many? What did
I know.
call Mikhail?
She wrote down a seating
Mikhail.
arrangement. She drew out the table. She was like, oh my
Mikhail.
God.
Until I got it
Mikhail.
right.
I know. His name is Michael, and you keep calling him
His
Mikhail.
name is hating ass Michael.
Oh, hashtag hating ass Michael.
Hating ass Michael.
Shout out to Michael who just celebrated his birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday, hating ass. Hey, happy birthday. hating
Before
ass
we jump
Michael.
into our topic, we have one more segment, which is usually Myra's question of the night. But Myra is enjoying her vacation with her family, so today
Myra.
is Maria's bringing question of the night. So Maria, what is the question of
Yes.
the night?
All right, here we go. If you were in the middle of the ocean and can only save one person, who would you save between your mom or your dad?
Oh, that's awful.
Why are you looking like that?
Oh, that's an easy answer. I'll go first.
Okay, you go first,
My
EJ.
dad. My dad. Easy.
You don't have a good relationship with your mom?
My dad, my best friend in this world. Like, for what I was, for everything I've become as a man, I've never had to go any further than to the next room to be able to see that. Somebody
Okay.
who worked, took care of everything.
So you're on the boat and you can only fit one more person. So what are you telling your mom?
Huh?
So
Damn.
You're looking right now. I'm your mom.
Uh-huh.
Your dad's here. You just helped your dad onto the boat.
Got you.
What are you telling your mom?
Do you remember when I was 7, motherfucker?
No, damn.
You remember I told you the teacher was lying. That's what the fuck I'm not.
All right, moving on. TJ,
That's a tough one.
who are you saving?
Don't be a bitch ass nigga and be like, I'll jump off the boat and save them both. They both lived full lives.
thought
Somebody
about
got to die.
That's what I would do. I would
My
jump
daddy know
off.
how to
That's
swim.
a punk
though.
ass answer.
If
Don't
my
get
daddy know
that.
how to swim. I probably get my mom. My daddy know how to swim.
I
Yeah.
love that answer.
Yeah, do that. I know your daddy will probably
You're
be
like
like,
my-
can't no water kill me, TJ.
No,
Say
I
your
know.
mama. Say your
I
mama,
mean,
ain't no
like-
water gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that would also
Yeah.
be the scenario. Not only can he swim, he'd be like, "Motherfucker, I dare." He would punch me. He'd be like, "Motherfucker, I dare you."
He get
Put
on the
your
boat
god-
and throw you off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He would
I
be like,
believe
"You
that.
like you put her on." He's like, "We'll push her." Like
Yeah.
there's no way he'd let me.
Get off this
Oh, he
boat.
take
help
you
me.
off the boat.
Yeah, if he's in the water and it's him and her, there's no. He would beat the shit out of me in the water. Hold on, shark. You can eat my ass in a little bit. I'm gonna kick this motherfucker ass.
Hold
Go
on,
put her
shark.
the boat. Yeah.
That's how sharks stop. That's how you
Yeah,
stop
like, hold
sharks.
on,
You tell them,
shark.
hold on, shark.
Hey, hold on.
All right, Mighty, who you saving?
My mom.
That's your sister. That's
My
fucked up.
mama.
Y'all got 2 boats. You can save your mom. You
They can save your
pop.
dad.
That's fucked
Yep.
up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a
Y'all
valid
didn't even
point.
think
That's
about
some
that.
bullshit.
Oh,
Y'all
we're gonna be
got-
all right because
amazing
Jordan got a
point.
boat.
Y'all got
No,
one boat.
We're not. It's not the same day, same moment. Nothing.
Yeah, they're
It's-
not together.
We're not
Okay.
together.
You don't know that? This could have happened on the
No,
same day.
no.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I made the question.
I'm going with my mom too.
Yeah.
oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Go home and tell daddy.
I
Don't even answer. Don't even answer. Just be like, I'm going to tell daddy.
He'll probably expect it. I mean, I am closer to my mom. I love my dad to death, but I just have a better relationship with my mom.
Okay.
So I'm going with
So who are you
EJ.
picking?
Oh, I have to answer
Yeah,
that
you
too?
can
Yeah.
answer.
That's hard.
No, we
Oh my
don't
god,
wanna
it's not
hear
that
it.
hard. Just to say it.
One.
No, if you gonna fuck up
Two.
my Christmas, we fucking up everybody's Christmas.
Yeah. Everybody I love is listening right now.
My weekend is fucked.
Yeah,
My
yo.
mother's listening, right? My weekend is fucked
Fucking
up.
I done had everybody download this app and shit. We
Yeah.
fucking up everybody's week. Hell
They all
nah.
in a circle listening right now.
Yeah.
My mom's about to text me.
Everybody's talking shit about you right now at the house.
Come on, hurry up! You're holding
yeah.
up. This is not all day.
3.
I'd
2,
probably
1, go, save
jump
them.
off the boat
Oh.
and put them both on there and just let go.
So then you're just gonna leave your daughters motherless?
Ooh, Sophie's choice.
Girl, your parents, like, most
They
people's parents is
lived.
better parents than them anyway. Girl, you got your parents to take care of your kids. You all right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You
Wow,
sacrifice
that's-
and
I
they
just-
going to build a statue for you. And the
Pick one.
Okay, I do what
TJ said.
TJ said. I put my mom on the boat and then just hold my dad and just hope that we get
Oh
to-
my God.
to-
You guys sinking.
Oh,
Sinking.
God.
whatever. I'm just gonna hold on to him and we just gonna be all right.
You ever notice people who make the hard questions can't never answer them?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you ever have to make the question,
Hey, hey.
All right.
better
You got
not
your
post
answer.
that.
Are we posting it? That wraps up the last segment. Before we jump into the topic, which is why we're all here, you know what I mean? This is actually intervention for EJ. TJ asked me to go ahead and start this intervention
Let's
for
do
you
it.
on
Hell
air.
yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man, we're trying to have breakthroughs. Right?
Look,
Who? I've accepted who I am.
You
So
know.
whatever the fuck you gonna say, I don't give a fuck about. Let's go ahead.
I'm just messing. So our first topic for tonight is pretty much. He was so serious too. He looked at me like, "What? What are you gonna say?"
Whatever you gonna say, boo. I heard it before, and I don't give a fuck about it.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Oh God. Okay.
I was gonna ride with you, but when
I
you were like,
know.
"Oh, we're gonna make him feel bad about himself." All right, good luck.
I didn't say that.
Intervention. You know, you've been doing. So, I have. All right,
I
I'm gonna
say
do
okay.
it right now. I'm not gonna keep doing. I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah.
All right, what's our topic?
All right. Tonight's topic is the pros and cons of attending a cultural school. You put this. This is my producer.
Oh, pros.
I
I'm
put-
for it. I'm for it. We both went to black
I know.
colleges. So,
I HBCU.
Let's do it.
So, and that's kind of why I want to talk about this, because me and my sister have conversations about this, because she has biracial kids, and right now, currently, one of her oldest is at a HBCU, but before that, her high school was predominantly Latino. So she's half black, half Mexican, and so she's experienced a little bit of both, which is what we encouraged her to actually go to HBCU. But her second child, we were looking for a high school for her, and we wanted more of a diversity for her. So, all through her elementary, she was in a predominantly Latino school. Then her middle school was predominantly black. So we were figuring, like, are we doing her like a favor? Like, are we like pulling her back by not bringing her more diversity into her life, because she's literally just been around black and Latinos, and that's who she is, and that's who she sees herself in. But I feel like sometimes it can be a pro to be in more diverse school, and like a mixture of like having Asians around you, having Caucasians, and so we're gonna talk about the pros and cons about that, because my goddaughter is extremely smart, and so every time we talk to her about this, she brings up such great points, and so it's like, okay, you're gonna go to a school that you want to go to, but when we try to like talk to her about it, it's just like she's very resistant on, like, she does not want to go to a white school, and that's kind of making me feel
close-minded.
she's very close-minded. I don't know, but I don't also want to know what her perspective on white people, and why she's like refuses, like she gets mad when
She's lived in the world.
Yeah.
True, but at the same time, when we're gonna go into all that, and I'm gonna talk about that,
right.
because also when you go into the real world, usually who are our bosses? They end up, as the higher you go, ends up being
and
white
so
and
you need-
Caucasian
That's
and
why
Asian.
we're going to change
So
that.
that's
through
why
our
you-
Yes,
kids,
we're gonna
raising
change that,
them
but
strong,
at the moment, we're
raising
not
them
there
to be
yet.
Yeah, we're
leaders.
not there yet. So how
We're
can
gonna
we,
talk
Oh,
about
yeah,
all
yeah.
How
that.
are we giving them?
I was about to
the
say-
No, I mean, we
choice to
here,
live?
so-
No,
like,
yeah.
we can
So,
do
but really quick, we're gonna go ahead and talk about. So people that don't know what an HBCU is, we're gonna go ahead and talk
The
about that.
best thing ever.
So my guests are African American / black. I don't know
black.
how you want to be labeled.
I'm black.
Okay, you're black. That's why I said / black. And pretty much, if you guys want to go ahead and talk about that, because that's actually where you guys met as well, right?
Yes.
At the HBCU. So go ahead and talk about what an HBCU is to our listeners.
I repeat, it is the best fucking thing ever.
For those that want to know what the acronym stands for, it stands for Historical Black College or University.
Yep.
Yes.
So they're basically higher learning institutes for black people, minorities, those of color who did originally, when they were established, did not have the opportunity to be able to go to school with Caucasians, basically.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, like they
It's-
didn't let us in, so we built our own.
That's
Like,
basically
that's
essentially what it is.
HBCU.
How life works. If you don't let us in, we build our own.
Mhm.
So yeah, for me, I don't know where you want us to start.
Yeah, like,
Okay. So
You can start.
Kind of
or
like what
however you wanna-
what is one highlight of your experience being there? Like, what is one thing that really sticks out to you?
I think for me, it was having, you have like professors and all these amazing people that look like you, which representation matters. And it's people who, how do I say this? They teach you in the way, like my mom even felt really good because like they teach you the way, like, yeah, if you would imagine your auntie would teach you. Like, it's not I'm teaching you because I'm getting a check. It's I'm teaching you because I've lived the life you're about to live. I understand the hardships you will go through being a person of color, and I'm gonna teach your ass. Like, if I could stand in your bedroom and on top of your head and put this book in your face, I would do that.
right.
Like, it's not you're a number. It's like you. Like, my teachers knew me by name, knew when I fucked up, knew when I was lying, knew, hey, you need to come to my office immediately. And it was like, you would think about that, like, oh, they got their foot mask, but they're literally preparing you. I want you to go out here and do life well. I don't give really a shit about class, whatever the fuck. You need to get out here and learn life well. And they would give you speeches like, it's not this is not about school, boy. Like, this is about a grown-ass man, motherfucker. Like, look here, sit down, because life is hard. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, how this is. So it's a different type of approach to, like, teaching and all this other stuff. Like I had a God, I can't remember bro's name, but he was like in the like the chemistry department. It was this older dude. He was a chemistry teacher, and he flat out told us, he's like, my real job. He was like, I'll be at hello. He's like, I'll be at
Shout out to Moni from Never Not Extra. She just entered the building. Hi, Moni.
Oh, high five. She got real professional. No, but basically he was just saying, like, I'm a real scientist. Like, I go to the places you think, like, are imaginary. Like, I leave all this stuff at the front door and all this other shit. But he's like, I come here because I like to see people that look like me do better. He's like, I don't got to come here. He's like, he's like, the check I get here and the check I get free. He's like, fuck this place. Mm-hmm. So that is what sticks with me.
Right. What about you, AJ?
I always say that's number one for me. Everybody I've seen in a position of power looked like me, and that gave me a different idea. That's speaking to the point that you were just getting ready to make, is that when I went into the real world, I didn't have that idea that white people have a monopoly on power. It's because I had been to a place where the dean, the police officers, the professors, the cafeteria lady, the motherfuckers in town that owned all the businesses were all black. Everything that you can basically think of in a city that was having the operating was operating with black people. So that idea that that it was impossible to go into the real world and management and all these people that was debunked with that. But the second thing for me was the level of camaraderie that I seen just between my peers. Yeah. I come from Compton. I'm from the west side of Compton all day, twice on Sundays. Hey. So for me, it's a double-edged sword. There's good and bad with that. I learned a certain strength of self, but at the same time, I did also see a level of self-hatred that I can now label properly. There is this idea that essentially that you just hate yourself. Like black people, we have that. We have that that self-hate. That's why for some things our reactions are so drastic to people of our own nature, like people that look like us. That's why it's so quick to pull that gun and shoot us, because you've been taught to hate that, not realizing hating that is hating yourself. But when I went down there, it was a different sense of love that I felt. Like people down there, just literally my first day down there, because I went to a white college before I went to a black college.
Oh, really? Where'd you go?
I won't say the college's name, but it's a school in Mississippi. So it's a white school in Mississippi. Let that set in. Okay. Like the level. The area where this college is, at the time of slavery, more slaves were in this concentrated area than they were in the United States. I want you to imagine that. So I lived there. So the remnants of racism and slavery was very heavy. To go from that to go to Grambling State University in Northeast Louisiana, where everybody who was black loved everything that was black. My first day there, classes hadn't even started yet. I was just there, and somebody just came and was like, yo, come on, we about to go to a barbecue. I was like, nigga, I don't know you. He was like, so what? Come on. They was like, we going, let's go. Everybody going, you going, come on. We got liquor, we got food, there's women there, let's go.
That ain't even an exaggeration. Like my same thing, like my first day there, it was like I met Gene because my bro was playing football down there for a minute. So like he introduced me to a couple people, but I had lost track of names. Like, hey, we going to the yard. And I literally was like, I don't know you niggas. I don't know who the fuck you are. He's like, it was like, so? Like, party, yard. I met you 5 minutes ago. Freshman, fucking booze, come on, nigga. Like, and I was like, oh, cool. And
I will say that my niece, who is Crazy Maria's oldest daughter, she didn't have to worry about that. Like usually when you're a freshman, you go to college, you get homesick. You're trying to find your place at the campus. You're trying to find the right organizations for you. And support groups. And so that's why people would end up joining fraternities, sororities, or organizations. BSU, the Latino Business Association, all that stuff. It's there, and why do you join it? So you can feel part of something. And I know, and seeing that, and talking to my niece, as soon as you enter the campus, you just feel part of it. The whole campus is like your organization that you would join at a college that is diversity. So that's like the pro, that you don't have to worry about racism. You don't have to worry about just the stuff like that you would deal with on a university that is more diverse. So those are definitely pros about it. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because you guys went to that school and my niece was just talking to us. But tell you were just talking to me and TJ off air about it, about what some of the things that she felt when she did attend.
Well, we were having dinner because I was trying to talk my middle child into attending the school that I wanted her to attend. And she was like, Mom, you have to understand that when I went to Olin, which is her high school, predominantly Latino, she said she had
all Latino. It was only like maybe 3 black kids in
Right.
the whole school, her including, and she's mixed. So
she said she had to listen to Spanish music to fit in, or to to feel like she fits in. Before that, she didn't really listen to Spanish music, and then she just kind of started learning a little bit more Spanish.
And her Spanish speaking got really improved.
Very,
It got-
very good.
Yeah.
Out of all 3 of them, she speaks the best. But when she went to Alabama, she said that she had a huge culture shock. She felt like she didn't belong. Like, even though she's part black and she has an amazing relationship with her dad's side of the family, she felt like she
Out of place.
She's
couldn't-
very extra
Yes,
Latina in
yes.
a space that was.
So she said, her sister, my middle child, she listens to rap and hip hop, and she's like, I didn't do that, so I had to start like YouTubing songs that are in, and my friends would listen to it there in Alabama, and so she's like, it took me a while before I felt like I fitted, like I fit in.
Yeah.
So I felt bad at that point. I almost felt like I did a huge disservice to her as a mother in doing that to her, because for me, putting her into that charter school, not only because I worked for the organization, but also because I wanted something good for her, something better. And for me, that charter school was better, but not knowing that she wasn't really feeling like she fit in. And she did it because she knew she was going to be there for the next 4 years, and she had to make the best of it.
Yes.
Okay, so I was one of those children who, I lived in Compton, but my parents sent me to high school in Bellflower. For those that know, Bellflower is basically a white city. It's a suburb city. Literally, the sports league that they play in is called the Suburban League. That's how white it is.
What?
So my experience was that too. I went from fresh out the frying pan into the fire. I went from completely black and Latino culture in Compton to all white people. My only identity with white people before I went to high school was the police. I hated them. Like, not in a way where I'm trying to be soft with this, where I hated them. They were the police. They dropped me off in enemy neighborhoods and maybe put my hands on hot hoods of the car and shit like that. So I hated these motherfuckers when I went there. But I still had to deal with it. I had to become acclimated, and I started to kind of have a self-hate thing because I felt like I was losing part of myself being out there.
At the white school.
At the white school. I felt like I was losing part of myself. So when I went to a black college, it gave me a sense of self all over again. It allowed me to get reintroduced to myself, but reintroduced to myself in a way that was positive. Like I said, I was black before I was all black, knew only things that were black before I went to this high school. But at the same time, there were negative sides of black. There were gangbanging and things like that. And yeah, that's black culture, but that's not the side that is what we should be happy about. I went to a white school and kind of got disconnected from that. So it almost was a good thing. It deprogrammed me. So when I went back to a black environment at Grambling at a black college, I was able and open to learn, because I was so thirsty just to have anything black that I was lucky enough to go to a black college and get black love.
Yeah.
So you ever see how some people will go, like, you ever see somebody who you grew up with get shifted out of the neighborhood for something, but his time that he gets to spend in the neighborhood, now he's all the way out for the neighborhood, like he's all in to the neighborhood shit? That makes sense. Like the kid who grows up in the neighborhood, his parents moved to Palmdale, when he gets a chance to come back to the city, he like, fuck that, I want to show y'all that I'm still this and I'm still that. That was essentially me. But I just so happened to fall into a good situation where it was like, only thing people were trying to feed me was like black love. So I was so open to finding things that were black that it was just like, lucky I fell into a great situation and I got a new sense of self that helped me throughout life. Speaking on your daughter, I feel like for her, she's just disconnected from her blackness in reality. Because as a black person, the level of black that I ran into when I went to a HBCU was like, oh shit, like as black as I thought I was. I went to Grambling and met Bobby Seale. If y'all don't know who Bobby Seale is, that's one of the people who created the Black Panthers.
Oh, nice.
That's one of the men who created the black. I got to sit in a room with this man and hear him speak and listen and ask this man a question. That's a whole different level of being in touch with your black. Like, so when your daughter goes to Alabama, that's a whole different level of black. Like, you have to understand,
Who are
in
you
California,
telling?
we don't even have
That's
racism.
a whole different level.
So that's what I'm trying to tell people. Is like, California people, we don't have racism. We have classism. So when your daughter goes down there, she's seeing racism for the first time. What racism is you can't go in that city. Those city limits, that's you can't go there. Grambling Falls in Ouachita Parish in Louisiana. That's the richest parish. So basically, it's a county. It's almost like Orange County is where Grambling sits in the Orange County, Louisiana. That county has more money than anywhere else in the whole state of Louisiana.
Racist as fuck.
It's all white. Where Grambling's aside from Grambling, the little city, the county it's in is all white.
Yeah.
It's the richest county in all of Louisiana.
Now, I remember being in class, and it was some class we were in, and like there was one of the classmates or whatever, and she was actually talking about one of the little adjoining cities. What was like Reston, like maybe Farmerville or some shits. One of them shits in between. It was on some. It was still while we were in school. It was still places that were on some like sundown town shit.
Yeah, no, without a
you
doubt.
should not be there. You know, when lights, if it gets dark, you need to get the fuck
out.
Because shit could.
Do you remember the watermelon sign?
Yep.
We were going to a grocery store at this black college, and I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you're fine. My producer always talks to me during the show. Don't worry about
all
it.
right. I thought you were saying wrap up.
No.
But,
Wrap that shit up, B.
shut up, nigga.
She won't tell you. She'll tell me, and then I'll tell y'all.
All
So
right,
you
cool.
don't have to worry about
But
it.
no, I bet. But it was just the
It was
experience of
fire.
like we went to a grocery store one time and they were all sold out of watermelon. The white people literally put up a sign that said all the niggas ate all the watermelon. So it's like, yeah,
What?
It's a different level of something down there. But at the same time, to combat that, you need a certain level of love in that environment.
Right.
So what she's gonna get from her peers. Yeah, you're gonna have to learn music, but your roommate's still gonna be willing to put you on to some shit. Like, girl, come on, we going over here, we
Right.
doing this. Like, come with us. She's still gonna get everything she needs, but it's still that double-edged sword again of you didn't know this before you got here. So when you learn it, it's gonna be a little bit of a reality check. I always tell people the worst type of thing to get is to find out the world you live in is not the real world, and that's just essentially what I feel like is kind of happening to her. You feel out of place and you questioning yourself, and you don't like these things is because you're finding out the world that you had created for yourself is not really the world that you need to be living in.
But I honestly think that what she's feeling, it's mostly about like things that like music, like, oh, do you know this artist? Do you know this singer?
But that's black culture. That's
yes,
so heavy.
but she's
Yeah.
not all fully black. She's half black, half Mexican. So her going to an all Latino school, I actually encouraged it. I like it because I know that because the black culture we all know is very popular culture. Black culture, hip hop culture is really popular. It takes over music. It takes over just it's black culture.
The real
is,
parts of it though. The real parts
Yeah,
of
it's
black culture, not the
different,
parts that people are picking at and want to take
Yeah,
on
that's
because
popular.
it's
It's
easy. I'm
different
talking
to,
about
like,
the real
that
parts.
No,
you have
that
to
I understand,
identify
but
with.
That's a different
But
thing.
she's at an age where she doesn't know that yet, but I'm sure she's identifying that now that she's over there. Like you just said, you put it perfectly. In LA, there's not racism, there's classism, and I get that. So now she's going from LA, where it's such a most diverse city out, in the United States. She's going to a place in Alabama where it's predominantly like black or white, and that's it. So she's probably going to experience racism, real racism out there.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, I also don't want to have her lose who she is. She's also half Mexican, even though she looks black. She looks mixed.
That's I think a big thing is like the identity piece is like when you look at her,
She looks black.
because there is a lot of anti-blackness in the Latino community. So when you look at her, you think black. So
But-
her lived experience is that. And I
But
think
she went to a middle school in Inglewood that was predominantly black,
Yeah.
and she actually experienced colorism there.
I was just
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say
She
that you now
experienced
have to be careful
colorism.
trying to push her on us because
Yeah.
she's mixed.
Yes.
That ain't always gonna work
It's
out
not.
nice for you.
You know
When
what?
your light skin is
And
a
that's
big.
why I say it's a sense of self that she needs. She
Yes.
needs to understand that you cannot go all the way over here because some people
Right.
gonna think you're a Mayate, and you can't
Yeah.
go all the way over here because some people gonna think you're a Bete.
Yes.
You cannot
What you
do
talking
that.
about? You do live in LA.
So my thing
Yes.
is this.
Yeah.
My thing is this. You need a sense of self, and
Yes.
you're gonna get that for her. She as much as y'all want to dictate to her what you feel like is good for her. You're Latino. You have. Or I don't. If unless I.
No, that's why I have you guys here.
Y'all
I'm
not-
talking to you guys for this
but
reason.
what I'm saying
like,
is, at the same time, for me, I feel like you need both of those.
you do.
So I think it's great that she had that Latino high school because you're going to need that, especially in this world that we seeing about how people are trying to make Latinos the ass of civilization. Like,
Right.
unfortunately, some of the hardest working people in this world are now being made out to be the bane of this society's existence,
Right.
which is not right. So you are going to need that strength, that sense of self. When that music comes on, you got to like be shameless to get up and dance
Yeah.
and say things in Spanish. You need all of that, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you just need that
Let-
other
Let
side.
me cut you off real
Go ahead.
quick, though, EJ. As a mother, I have them embrace both parts: their Latino culture and their black culture. I, take them to both churches, the Catholic, the Baptist. They eat both foods. My middle one loves to cook, so she knows how to cook both from the Mexican culture and the black culture. I'm just building them to be strong women because they have colorism in the Latino side
Yeah.
and in the
Black side.
black side.
100, yeah.
All
They're
the
never
time.
gonna be black
It-
enough, and they're never
yes,
gonna be Latino enough.
And that's always gonna be it. She gonna always be
the
too
only
black
thing
for
that
the-
I need to build them is not to be Mexican enough and not to be black enough to be
Right.
strong enough to
Sense
know
of self.
who
That's
they
right.
are, and that is it.
That's right.
That's it.
Whatever else pa afuera. But
Right.
who
What
you
that
are
mean?
and
What that
what
mean?
you stand for.
outside. Go
Yeah.
Outside.
Stand them in them 2 toes, them 10
toes.
toes.
Oh,
10
yeah.
toes.
Two
Hey,
toes.
Damn
hey,
it,
got
like,
to.
and just stand hard. Like, don't ever let nobody tell you what you're not and what you are.
Yeah,
You
10
Yeah.
know
toes
who
down.
you are, where you come from, and what's
But you
in
have to learn to
and that's
defend
all
that, though.
matters.
You have to learn how to be able to stand proud in something.
they're
Because
smart
I have been
girls.
black. I have been black my whole life. But when shit had hit the fan and I got into that world, what I realized is the things that my blackness was rooted in were not things that translated into the real world. That is where I got my reality check. So yeah, I knew how to cook. Yeah, I knew the music. Yeah, I knew all of that. But I knew none of my fucking history. I knew nothing that was a part of me. So when white people went, oh, the Black Panthers just had guns and stood on, I didn't know about free food programs. I didn't know about the brown berets
But-
and the Black
but
Panthers
see,
and these
what-
things. So black culture
That's
and brown
right.
culture goes hand in hand.
It does.
So like I say, it's not losing one thing to
Right.
gain another. You're learning your sense of self because both of these things go hand in hand. Black people have been where Latino people are at now in terms of people moving y'all, putting y'all in cages, taking your children away. We've both experienced this
Yes.
thing, and it's like we're brothers of a struggle. So
We
that's
are.
why I say she don't need to learn one or the other. In my opinion,
No.
it's a sense of self
Yes.
because you are
Yeah.
both of these. You are
Yes.
beautiful, you are strong as a queen in both of these. So for me, as I said, it's gonna be a little shaky ground when you're
speak it,
getting
EJ.
Yes.
when you get to know yourself, but it's the growing pains that are necessary to make her the person that you're striving to make her. So I give you 100% credit.
Right.
You're doing the perfect job of making sure that exposure is necessary. Experience is the best teacher. So excuse me if it was a
Preach.
misunderstanding, but
Amen.
100, I commend
Yeah.
you on what you're doing and how you're doing.
Yes, and one thing I can also say is that their dad and myself, I mean, their dad talks to them a lot about their culture. Black Panther, like he will sit there and really go deep into it. So for the most part, like they're well aware. And Anissa, the middle child, she is like, I think that's why she is the way she is. She's like pretty much, I mean, they're all strong, but Anissa,
She has an old soul too. I
Yes.
think she's been around this world already. That girl, she has been around. Like she's lived 2 to 3 lives already here.
Yes,
she's a
definitely.
smart
What about
girl.
the fact that like at HBCUs, it's not exclusionary necessarily. Anybody can apply.
yeah.
And that's what
I mean,
was gonna say.
that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
about. Like, there are students, a certain percentage of students that are not black that go to HBCUs.
Just as it
What
is for like
like-
white, predominantly white universities, you get that small percentage of us that go there. The difference is what I think people fail to realize, and with HBCUs, they look at us because of us being the majority there. They feel like we're going to treat them as other majorities have always treated us, and that's the problem. That's why if you guys have never
Do you
seen
feel like
that
that's a
experiment,
problem on campus?
What did you say, TJ?
That's the thing with them in general.
Is that
Yeah.
is that a thing
Like-
on campus?
no,
No,
we
no,
are the
like,
opposite. So this
yeah,
is
we
my whole point.
embrace,
Black
like,
people
that's
are
what I'm saying.
inclusive.
Like,
we're not
very
exclusive.
We're almost inclusive to
To
our
a fault,
detriment.
yeah. Like we will forgive
Yeah,
everybody
we'll
for
bring you-
everything.
he danced so well, nigga. He can come in and come. Yeah, all
like
that-
literally,
about
there
the
are
cookout shit.
grandfathers of people who own people who go
Yep.
to like. So the white grandfather who owned the black slave, both of their grandchildren go to school at Grambling together now, and neither one of them feel any way about the other. And I mean, the white person. What's your right to really feel some way about this black person? But this black person, they will literally meet people who they know at
Right.
one point their family owns someone in your family, and now you are roommates with this motherfucker, trying to establish some type of equality with them.
Yeah.
Some type of peer-to-peer understanding that our value is the same. So it's there, but we're willing to take that moment to be like, hey, we're equals. No matter what you did, good or bad, you're okay in my book. You still looked at as my bro, my sister, and I think that's our cultures. We talked about it last week on our show, the loyalty of Hispanics. Like y'all will ride and team and like be inclusive to anybody. I
I'm
think
glad
that's
you
the
said that,
POC
but a lot of
community.
people don't think that. Do you think that your thinking has something to do with the fact that you went to a Latino high school and you got to actually talk to and interact with them
And be a part of
and be a part of that culture as far as being
100%. I
so
think
that
it is.
because literally
And also, I think I didn't listen to preconceived notions of like any race or culture. Like as a black person, I had heard so many bad things about myself that I knew wasn't true. That when I had met other cultures and other races that were like, when in the early 2000s when I met Muslims, I didn't think they were bombs and terrorists. And fucking now when I meet Mexicans, I don't think they're rapists and criminals. When I meet somebody, whatever the stereotype is, I debunk that because I'm sure when somebody meets me, they have I'm a 6'2" black man. Like what the fuck?
right.
If you seen me on the street with how I looked, I smell like weed all the goddamn time. I'm fucking drunk with my friends. You would probably think I was one of the biggest goddamn criminals you've ever met. I literally have government clearance. So that's, you can't ever judge that
Right.
by what the preconceived notions of what you learn. And once you throw that shit out the window, you're gonna meet some of the best people you've ever encountered in
Yeah.
your fucking life.
Yeah.
Period.
So true.
That's just how it works.
Do you have like, is there any caveats to like, or do you give any advice to students that do go to HBCUs that are a part of that? Like I think of like Latino communities too, and they're like all about it. They're learning about their history. They're this. They're empowered. They feel like hell yeah. And then they step into the quote unquote real world where, like you said, you feel that dichotomy of like, oh shit, I've seen people that look like me in power, but actually I live in a society that is not set up that way. Do you feel like there are students that like really struggle with that transition, especially because they're young, right? You leave at 21 or something?
I don't think you have that coming from like a HBCU or coming from a minority background, because like
that's a part of your preparation.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
what
When
you're
you're
going to
from-
go out
when
and
you're
see is
from-
not going to look like this.
yeah,
Do
when
they
you're from
do they
like
tell you that
any
in
type
No,
of
without a doubt.
They
Without a doubt.
teach you that
minority-
at the campus, at the
No,
school.
yeah. They
No,
teach
like,
you a
you-
sense of
you learn
self
that in
so you
life,
get,
dog.
when you're
Like-
with others. I'm sorry.
No,
Go
but
ahead.
you learn that in life, like being a black man, being a Latino woman, man, whoever. The people you have to cater to is white America. They don't cater to us. We've always, no matter, I don't give a shit about education level or anything like that. So
As
it
a
doesn't-
POC, you can't live on the offensive. You go through life on the defense.
Everybody in here,
if you're a
everybody
POC
in
and
here
try to
got
live
the
on the
voice
offense,
we
you're gonna
use on
lose.
here while we talking to each other, and we all got our interview voice. No white person
Code
has their
switching.
interview voice.
Code
Nobody
switching.
else got a
No
code
switch.
switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
We
knew
code
So
switch for them.
true.
Exactly.
Switch for them. We did talk about that one. We
Yeah,
switch.
it
We
was one of our
code
first
switch for
going
them, but
to
they
an
can't code
HBC.
switch
What you would do is to like I said when they was talking to me about like how the professors talk to me, like they reinforced that like it's different out here. So you need to have your what's that shit? You got to be twice as good to get half as much.
yeah. Yes.
Like that. That's preach. I knew that when I was 6 years old, long before I got to college. That has nothing to do with like HBC would just reinforce that.
Yeah. So it's like you get the duality of it. So my professor in front of people, he would be like, "Mr. Gilbert, I need for you to do this, and for you to do this, and for you to do this," and then we would have a switch. He would get his briefcase. We would walk out the class together. He would close the door behind me, and we would get in the parking lot. He'd be like, "You niggas be stressing me the fuck out. Like y'all be tripping in class. What the fuck y'all? I'm trying to make sure you niggas get these degrees.
Oh my God.
But y'all niggas like, and it would be this thing of like, hold
That's
on,
not
I
even
can still
remotely
be that
right.
and still be this." He like, "Yes, motherfucker, let me get in this Benz. Nigga, come on, let's go get something to eat." And you be sitting there talking to this person who just showed you everything that they have, that they're like, "I run this program and I get money from these people and these people to take care of you guys and keep this science program or this art program or this whatever going." And they can do all that, but then them niggas get in the car and be like, "Nigga, this shit crazy as hell." Like Dr. Hubbard, one of the head of the science department, one of the strongest influences of my life. This man would get NASA to donate money to this little black college every year, the biggest grant that gave so many black students the opportunity to be in this program. I would sit with this man and he would literally drink E&J brandy with me and tell us stories after he would get off the phone with NASA and the government to get money for this black
let
college.
him look on and would take the time to look up our like grades and stuff and would jump both feet jump right in your ass.
So
What is this? What is this grade? Hey man, don't you have like millions of dollars to allocate? Yes, but right now I'm finna stand in your ass real quick because there's no reason you should. I wouldn't get that experience anywhere else.
Nowhere else.
No,
And
yeah,
anywhere else you sit in an auditorium seating and you're all the way at the top and the teacher is speaking into a microphone for you to be able to hear him. That's a huge disconnect.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well, EJ has to leave us.
I love y'all. I appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you
I'm
for
sorry.
coming, and
I have
thank
to
you
go
for.
back to, ESPN now.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm so sorry about that. I don't even. Should I say where you work? No, I won't say where you work. But it's not ESPN. So, my bad about that. But thank you for coming. I know you're working. You coming to your lunch break and stuff. Yeah, Moni, have a seat. Come
We
talk to us,
appreciate
girl.
you, EJ. Thank you so much.
Maria, what's going on in the chat box?
Can I just say we have a really angry person in the chat room.
Oh my gosh.
Cannot get it together with the app, having a total hard time.
I
So
know.
He
So-
even called out
Keith.
for Keith to come and fix it. So
I know. So, Javi, he's in the chat box. He's really upset about this new group chat. Look, we talked to everybody about this. There's gonna be some kinks in the app. It's a new app. It's like in beta stage right now. So eventually, we're gonna get better at it. The people that are doing the app for us, they live in Greece. So Keith communicates with them at like 2 a.m. to just to try to fix this. So we're trying to get better at it. And shout out to y'all, to you and Cynthia. Happy anniversary.
yeah, he was mad at that.
I know.
He was really calling everybody out. Keith, Jackie.
For not saying happy anniversary.
But not
My
Maria.
bad, y'all. I thought y'all wanted some alone time. But anyways, coming back to the topic. Pretty much, Moni, you went to a diverse college, right?
I did. Yeah.
Where'd you go to CSUN?
No, Long Beach State.
So over there, actually, I mean, it's diverse, but it's mostly white people there, isn't it?
It's mostly white people. It is diverse. It's a commuter school. A lot of people that are probably from here go there, so you know.
Yeah. So, and the high school you went to, was it diverse? You can pull the mic down because I know EJ's tall. There you
It's
go.
mostly. I went to Gardena, so it was like Black Mexican. And
Okay.
Like a few Asians.
Okay, and then so what would you say your experience was? Was it like an easy transition?
I felt like it was an easy transition, just because it was like a lot of Latino people there, and Black people in LA. We grow up with Latino people. That's not a shock, you know?
Right.
You know.
You have a diversity. Like I think you have like Samoans in your family.
Oh yeah, my nephews are half Samoan.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have a pretty diverse diversity.
Yeah.
If you could change it, would you go to an HBCU?
I think I would.
Why is that?
Because and I think you guys were touching on this before, or I kind of wanted to chime in on it, but
What'd you say?
Because it's fucking lit.
I bet. And okay, the thing about LA,
Seems like it is.
the thing about LA, there's like compared to the East Coast and the South, there's not a big Black population in LA. So for the most part, growing up, I was always like the only Black person in class, even though I had more people that Black people that went to high school with me. So I think that would have been a new experience, because I went to go visit DC recently, and I just seen Black people everywhere. And if that happens in LA, it's like purposeful. You know, it's like,
it's like an event
what are
or something.
all these Black people doing here? You know.
Yep.
But in DC, it would just be like a regular thing. So I would go to HBCU if I like went back, but also
Would you have met your best friend,
my best friend?
Benny?
I wouldn't have. That's a good point. But I was gonna say, I didn't really know that they kind of like prepare you for quote unquote the real world where you're not around a bunch
I didn't
of
know
Black
that
people.
either, because that's one of the things that makes me skeptical about my nieces going to an HBCU, because at the end of the day, most of us have either white supervisors, bosses, or and it's like you have to know how to like code switch. And so I've been teaching my nieces how to code switch since they were like in elementary.
I'm the only Black person at my job. Like my job is hella diverse, but I am the only Black person at my job. That is like something I'm used to because of the way I grew up. But honestly, my first like white friends were in college, because I didn't go to high school with any of them. And I don't want this to come off like shady at all.
Do it.
Just say it.
Just do it.
But I feel like because of my experiences in college and me hanging out with different types of people, I know how to interact with different types of people. I mean, it kind of sucks that I have to have like a work personality and like with my nigga's personality, but it's just like I know the humor. I know the.
But
like,
that's not even just that. Like, I want to stop you real quick, because I worked at the high school I worked that her daughter went to. I worked at that high school.
Yeah.
So I will say this: they didn't get to see full jacking. And it was predominantly Latinos that I was working with.
Okay.
So, yes, I was still being silly, and I would speak my Spanglish, and that's with the comfort that that's one thing for Latinos. We can speak Spanglish without being like, what did you say? What was that? We can feel comfortable. And that's when us working with other Latinos, that's like one thing that's like, oh, okay, I can just like be myself and say something and you'll know what I'm talking about. I get that understanding. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I was still code switching in a way as far as work mode and then party mode. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can be freaky, I can be nasty, I can be myself with my friends. I can say some perverted shit. Y'all aren't gonna judge me. I'm not gonna say that perverted shit at work.
No, facts. Yeah, it's always
so it's still code switching, even though they were all Latinos. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's still kind of code switching work mode and then like, okay, off work mode. And you still have to be like that. You can't be crazy. I can't be perverted at work. I can't be crazy saying some crazy freaky shit at work. You know what I mean? That's at the end of the day, that's still my boss. That's still my supervisor, you know?
I was gonna switching work mode is different than code switching like
language.
Like work is work, and like I'm not
professionalism is not really code switching.
But I would have to like being able to having to turn off like TJ to be like, hello, sir. I'm here for this.
Your code switching has an England accent.
You be in Trader Joe's talking all like that.
But like to what EJ was talking about, like I'm a 6'2" black man, so not only do I have to like code switch for my blackness, I gotta like turn down, I guess, myself to prepare for what you might think of me coming in the door.
Yeah.
I'm well over 200 pounds. Like I look like you'll see me and go, this nigga here is gonna, so I could be like, hello, like I talk low, like me and like one of my best friends, he's like fucking like 6'5", but we're both like really mellow talkers and stuff, and we've had conversations where it's like that's almost something we have to break, because I know when I walk in a room how I'm perceived. So I try my best to be like not threatening to people, preparing for them. Like, it ain't like I'm a real threatening motherfucker, but like, so that's, I think, like the code switching we talk about.
I was gonna say earlier, believe it or not, just from me like working around white people and others, they do code switch. I hear it when they're on calls, but it's less of a line, you know. It's not that far off from their true self, but like just being around my boss and seeing how she interact with us when we're getting ready to go to an in-person meeting, and she like, all right, y'all, let's do this, and then we go in, and she's like, yeah, like it's like they code switch to an extent, but I feel like with us as people of color, it's like a bigger gap.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's just because it's the privilege that exists. Because even if she came in with her like, yeah, y'all, is what we're going to do, and she came into a meeting like that, she might still get that money, like, speaking that way, because it's her speaking that way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's where it's like they validate whether we're code switching correctly. So like if they want to, and you'll see that in workplaces too. Like your white coworkers will be like, "Oh, that's on fleek." And you're like, "What the fuck?" Like and they fucking use those things wrong, and you're like, "Wait, what are you doing?" But like they're attempting to code switch for you, and you're like, it's almost like a disrespectful sort of thing, because when they do it to like code switch downward. They see it as a negative shift downward. So it's almost like they minimize you in your language. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it feels like.
No, I totally understand. We don't have the benefit of, like,
it's not privilege. It's not
that.
like, oh, when you speak this way, it's like, wow, okay, you're intelligent. I hear it. Mm-hmm. It's not. But it's, I don't know. That's what I think. It just be... It's a lot to consider.
So I definitely wanted to talk about this because, you know, just because my sister and I always have this conversation, and, you know, we're Latinos, but we wanted to hear from what'd you say?
Is it a picture or video?
Oh, she's taking, Maria's taking pictures of everybody. But I appreciate you, TJ and EJ, for kind of giving us your experience on it and your take on it. And it kind of brings me a little bit at ease because of the fact that you guys kind of said that it does still prepare you to talk to, I guess, in the world as far as like the Caucasians, the white, you know, because at the end of the day, they're still in freaking high positions, like your boss, the CEO, whatever. For example, the whole Equinox, like their boss, you know, is freaking supportive of Trump. Like, I don't know. It's just things like that just worry me. That I'm just like, are we not bringing like the best to them or preparing them for the world, for what the real world is? Of course, we would like for it to just be a certain way, but it's not that at the end of the day. There's so much more to it. So that wraps up the first part of tonight's topic. I do kind of want to go into the second topic, which is pretty much we're going to quickly talk about what you talked about in your minute is the shootings in the U.S. And something that made me want to talk about this today is I saw something in the news that said that other countries, the U.S. right now is that country that other countries are warning them about.
Oh, yeah, there's like a lot of flight warnings.
Yeah. We're in the news in other countries. Right. Like, don't go to the U.S. If you're planning a trip to U.S., you might want to reconsider because of all the mass shootings. Wow.
We've had 209, and the year's not over, y'all. It's like it's not over. We had 209, and we're like the only industrialized country in the world, in the whole fucking world. So all these countries that you want to ban immigrants because they're coming from those countries have never had a mass shooting.
Right.
Like, ever.
And it's never been a colored person.
I don't want to say never.
I want to say
stand by that.
I would stand by that too.
Okay.
And they're predominantly male too. Yes. So
I was trying to find, because I was on Courtside Radio. Shout out to Courtside Radio who gave us love last night. But they had pulled up some number. I was trying to pull up what they pulled up, but they were saying just in this year we've had like about 200 shootings. And we're the number one country with the mass shootings. The second one, I think, only had 3.
So you go from 3 to 200.
From 200 shootings, which is the U.S., to 3 shootings, I think, which was Mexico. Yeah. And then after that, I don't know what they said. But just that comparison, just number 1 and number 2, like that alone should wake us up. Like, what is wrong with this? And honestly, I'm not even going to lie. When I heard the news and like the mass shootings, I didn't even flinch. I didn't even think, oh, another shooting. And to me, I'm like, literally that's
desensitized,
right? And that what worries me, and the fact that I kind of had to step back and like, wait, why are you not freaking out about this? Like, this is a big deal to me. I mean, I kind of saw it in the news and I was like, Okay, and I just kind of kept swiping. I was like, how did you guys react when you guys heard of these shootings last week?
I mean, it's kind of the same. Like, you get numb to the fact where you're not like, oh shit, I can't believe this happened. Like, I can believe it's happening, but I definitely am like, I think it should change. I guess like same thing as everybody else. I'm like, this shouldn't happen. There should be mass amounts of change for it. But it is a weird thing to recognize that you're kind of numb to like the mass loss of life. Like, you just kind of almost are like, all right. You almost are getting to the point where it's like, all right, I hadn't had nobody get shot in like 3 weeks. Like, some weird shit is bound to happen. We overdue.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like and like I don't know. I just think like, cause you see, like I saw like a post earlier today on one of these like pages I follow, and it was saying that there's like conversations about people are really up in arms, always about taking your Second Amendment right. And I'm like, I'm not saying that you should not be able to bear arms, cause I'm a bit of like a weirdo, so I'm like, I don't want you to take my shit, because then the government can just do whatever the fuck they want. But I feel like you should not be able to get an assault. I feel like that's not a hard thing to like just.
How the fuck you want to shoot like 900 people for?
Yeah, I just feel like that shouldn't be.
like 90 or something.
You should be able to fill out maybe a little bit of paperwork. If you go, hey man, I want to get this assault rifle. You shouldn't be able to get that as easy as I can get a pair of J's.
There should also be a background check.
Yeah, like I just think there should be.
They did do that. They mandated that, and then a lot of Walmarts in California started saying that they actually sold out of ammunition, because right before that, there's like a law now in point where they have to run a background check. So everybody went to go stock up. Because before, you just had to be, like 18 or something, and just go buy a bunch of bullets. They don't ask you questions.
Like, you could walk in the, Walmart, Dick's, whatever, and just be like, wow, that's a whole shotgun, assault rifle shit. I could just go back there and, like, purchase.
Yeah.
That shit's wild. Like,
these two shooters, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, these two shooters were a part of a white supremacy website or some type of...
They were like white nationalists. They call themselves nationalists, but it's a supremacist.
And he had put on there that he was going to do this.
The craziest part is that it's almost like a verbatim of Trump's fucking tweets. One of the person's manifestos was basically word for word what Trump has been saying. Yeah. And it's like this young guy, quote unquote young guy. And like Trump's people were like, silence in the crowd.
Trump also blames the victims in this, saying that he's like, if they weren't here, they wouldn't be dead.
It's
but see, that in itself just tells you.
And part of me wants to be upset, and like I want to get mad. I want to be like everybody else is upset. But it's almost like it doesn't do me any good to be this mad, because I feel so like almost helpless. Like, what do you really do? And that's where little things matter. Like standing up for people when you see them like being hounded. When it comes time for voting, like y'all think voting didn't matter? Like the fuck? Like if you don't know that voting matters by now, like you can continue to not have an opinion.
Man.
Right.
Preach. Say that again.
And shout out to my producer. She put some stuff together. She also says that Shooter says that the reason that they did this was in protest against the Latino invasion in El Paso. And then she put...
It was Mexico first, though.
Yeah. And then she goes, FYI, Latinos were there before El Paso became part of the U.S. Just FYI. So they need to do some research on this. But, yeah, it's really unfortunate, and it's just really sad to see. I hope something changes. I mean, if you guys could change it to... What would you want to change it to, the law, Mari?
I just think you should have the right to bear arms. I think the open carry thing, though, is excessive. And I think that assault rifles should not even be accessible to any citizen. If you are not trained for an assault rifle, you should not have one, and you should not be allowed to carry a gun that can kill 100 people in less than 1 minute.
Yeah. What about you, TJ?
Yeah, I'm kind of like the same way. Like, I'm not big on taking guns or anything like that, but there should be like extensive processes to get extreme weaponry. Like, you shouldn't just be able to walk around like, hey man, I just went and got this. Like gun shows are even worse. Like, you could just, like, you go to a gun show, you can get whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Like,
I forgot about that.
You could even, like, I don't even know if you sometimes have to even make it into the show. If they got shit in the, like, you could just slang shit in the parking lot. Like, it's just guns going around and around, just regular ass crazy motherfuckers. And sometimes, like, even if you're crazy as shit. Yeah. But sometimes you just have the power, and like the most regular nice person would be like, I got it. I now like am thinking I'm gonna make a reason to use it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like,
yeah,
you should just kind of act. That's my only thing. Like, it just should be, and I don't think that's like a really hard thing to figure out. Like, we should regulate this.
Yeah.
Just I don't know, fuck around. Do do some politicking. Y'all up there on Capitol Hill all day. Just fuck around, do some work once in a while. That's it.
Yeah.
What about you, Moni? What would you change?
I'm in agreement with them as well. Like, I don't think that guns should be taken away from civilians, but it's like there's no reason to have an assault rifle. It's just, for what reason? Like, I think of gun like protection, somebody coming to your house, things like that. Like 1-2 bullets, you good. But there's no like, yeah, it's really sad. I think it should be psych evaluations for sure.
Oh yes, yeah, big time.
What about you, Maria?
I'm all for the extensive background check, including psych evaluations. I do think that those big old guns, the whatever,
Assault rifles.
yes, those should not be sold. Like, there's no need for them. You know, not even to go hunting. You don't need to fire 9 rounds to get a damn deer. Like, no, there's no need for them. So I think that the big guns we can do without. I'm all about protection with the 9 and, you know, the small ones, but you got to do background checks. If these people are on these websites that are, you know, white supremacy and hateful, like,
it's not that difficult. Run it. Like, you gotta run a background check to get a job.
Right. Okay.
If you want to be able to purchase something that could kill somebody, you should also have one.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say background check for sure. Like, we do like all that for just to get a job and stuff. But also, I think there should be a class. Like, how long does, like, for the Army you have to train to be like have all those weapons and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I feel like people who really want a gun take at least a year course. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say a year.
If you want the gun that bad, it's not
Go
gonna
to
be
a
no
class,
big thing.
and you'll be taught the responsibilities. And anybody who takes this course will be on record that they have the guns, and then all that too. Like, you need to, so if you
that you
have
quote unquote know better, you took the
Yes.
we see here you took the class, so we knew you should not have done that. So you are going to get your jail time.
Yeah.
Well, I know that there is a you have to read and you take like a little test
You ain't
before
gotta
you
read.
purchase.
These people don't even
No,
know.
that's why I said a year. Because if
Well,
you really want this
to buy
damn
those big
gun,
ones?
you're gonna sit in
Yeah.
that class and work. If it's that,
They just gotta know how to
They
spell their
shouldn't sell
name.
those big ones, period.
Yeah, like what?
There's
Those
no
are made
need
for
for
what? Like the
them.
government? Those are made for like army situations.
it's
I don't
ridiculous.
understand how-
Oh, well, that pretty much wraps up today's show. Before we leave, we're going to go ahead and give TJ the opportunity to talk about his show. No, just talk about
You got a
yours,
plug?
where they can find you, because I know EJ left, so you can hold it down. But, yeah, let them know a little bit what they can find. If you're just tuning in, we have TJ in from Just a Dope Ass Podcast / show.
Yeah.
You can now find them on the Good News Network every Saturday from 3:30 to 5 o'clock.
Yep. That's it. Everything is Just a Dope Ass Podcast on SoundCloud,
Hey.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
By Instagram, can they find your Instagram?
Oh yeah, Just a Dope Ass Podcast on Instagram. I'm Chad Awesome on Instagram, and I want to say EJ is one and only EJ with like the number 1. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
I mean, he only has one picture on his
Yeah,
Instagram.
he stands on that. Like, he's
That's
like,
it. He literally
stands-
has one picture, and it's I'm sorry, it's a slideshow of pictures, but it's one post.
One post.
But
only.
but
that's kind of
honestly,
scary.
to
That's like
his-
serial killer status.
No, like to his, it makes sense. Oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, it makes sense because like when we like took the pictures or whatever for the podcast, or whatever, and like he didn't have shit, and he dropped it, and it was like 1 billion likes. He was like, yeah, man, he's like Sade with pictures. Like you just
Oh my
you drop
God.
one every 10 years, and they're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Franco shit.
That's my brother, dude. My brother gets like 200 likes, and I'm like, bro, you haven't posted like since 2017.
People are so excited to see him, though. That's why.
right. Oh my god.
Yeah, see, but he'll post pictures. You look at my page, I just be like in the car one day bored.
You are hilarious with that. There was this one thing that's like, there was a video that he had posted, and he was just like, it's like, just imagine when your kids ask you, "Hey, Dad, how'd you meet Mom?"
I don't remember what I did.
I
I just post shit and leave it.
That shit was hilarious. I was laughing. He was like, you were just at, it was like a Tinder kind of a date one night, and it was like, they were just having sex.
That's
He's like,
funny.
I don't know. It was just funny. You gotta watch him. Follow him at Chad Awesome on Instagram. You can also find them on Just a Dope As Podcast on Instagram. And yeah, do you want to put any other plugs out there? Shout out your mom.
Shout out to my mom and my dad.
I was about
And,
to say.
Well, he saved his mom, remember?
Yeah, you better
I mean,
shout
that's
out
because
to
my
your
daddy can
Dad's gonna
swim,
come
though,
after
and he's
him.
like a man's man. He'd ride like I'd be sitting there trying to swim. He'd ride like a whale, and like, pussy, what took you so long?
You ride a
But,
whale.
Yeah, I don't know, like Just a Dope Podcast on everything. If you're into clothes, go buy Dirty Laundry or ETNLA. That's the homies like clothing line and stuff. Oh, Brick the Billboard. Like, yeah, go do all that. If you like clothes, go to those 3 places.
Yeah.
Nova Lane sings real good. And that's it, man. Like, whole lot of game
How's
shit.
it been so far transitioning to a live radio show?
It's
from a
straight
podcast?
because we didn't know what we were doing, so we didn't edit shit. Like, the only editing we really did was, like, when we, like, film shit, I'd take, like, the audio and, like, put it with the video. But as far as, like, oh, yeah, cut this because it's fun, I don't know how to do that. So it was, like, whatever when we press play, whatever the fuck coming through here, like, it's mad episodes. People just walking through and we like, you want to talk? No, man, fuck that shit. And you just hear that in the background and it's in the show.
That's a big part of why we ended up signing you guys, because the fact that you guys already kind of do live shows. They're literally at a clothing store doing their
Dirty
show
Laundry store
in
Bellflower.
front of live. Like,
Anybody.
you're shopping and you see this freaking 2 guys doing their live show.
That's
so
cool.
they already have
That's
the
interesting.
experience. And then another thing was that you guys don't edit. You guys just kind of leave it. And that's
people
how,
like that.
Yeah.
People love that. It's the
That's-
wave, They want like that real.
Yeah, we talked about that. Also, like, pretty much like with us, you see, like, you don't really like prepare anything. If it just flow out and it end up funny or ends up entertaining or ends up, EJ standing on the soapbox, like, either way.
Do you remember who his 3 spirit animals are?
He has 3?
He has 3 spirit animals. Well, who are they? It's P. Diddy,
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
I forgot the
There's
last
one more, I forget.
It's somebody really important.
But you,
important.
I don't.
Morgan
Which
Freeman.
one do you think we got today?
Russell
Oh no, it's
Simmons.
DJ, Dr.
Russell
Dre, and
Simmons.
Jay-Z.
I think we got Jay-Z today.
Flava Flav.
Oh no, that's it. Like,
No.
it's Diddy, Dre, Hove.
I think we got
Okay.
Jay-Z today. We didn't get P. Diddy because he was not P. Diddy today.
Yeah, he's not. P.
Nah, it was Hove-ish.
Hovish, right?
You got Diddy with, like, because, like, when he's, like, in a zone, like, which is cool because, like, that mean I don't gotta talk that much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us here on Ladies Night. It was kind of a mellow night. We didn't
Yeah.
go too wild and crazy like we usually do, but it's because we wanted to talk about some serious shit here.
Yes.
Ladies like to talk about serious shit sometimes.
Yeah, y'all,
we
you
don't just
hear?
be talking about big dicks and shit.
Yeah, and shopping and shit.
Y'all were wild
That was last week.
Hey, that last week we were having. It was all ladies. That's why we were going crazy.
So I snuck in here on, like, politics night? Or
Yeah.
he
Ah,
came.
man.
As
Big
the
titties.
station,
Ew, he said.
this is why.
He said,
as
"Aw,
the
man."
station manager, I kind of wanted to, do a good impression on you guys.
We
Yeah.
start our show. Have you heard the start of our show?
No, what is it? Sing it.
They start every show by saying the word titties.
It's
Just
titties, big ass titties.
Titties, and this is the why it's kind of like a, what is it called? Like
Attention getter or something?
no,
it's a real thing behind it.
You know how
like, 'cause
athletes have it's a superstition.
it's superstition. Like,
So,
it is, yeah.
You explain it. It's your show.
Oh yeah, fuck it. Like we used to when we started like really like taking it serious and recording, we were like we need like a sound check. So we just said we was drunk and we was like big ass titties. So it worked. It was cool. We just kept saying that shit for our sound check every time. And like the one show we didn't, we smoked the whole episode. We was talking for like 2 hours and something wasn't plugged right. We didn't do shit. So after that we was like, yo, it's probably because we didn't say big ass titties.
Right.
And then we like said it as a joke, but we spooked ourselves.
Yeah.
So we kept saying it, and then it was one other time we did it, and it wasn't anything like super whatever. We caught mid show. He was like, "Hey, this is not playing." I was like, "Do you say big ass titties?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, well, fuck it. Like, we can't not say this no more."
Yeah.
So it's a superstition. They only feel like they're gonna have an amazing show if they say titties.
Man, big
That's
titties. Yeah, I mean, titties
Well,
make people
What
happy.
about little titties?
Little titties matter too.
All titties
Yeah.
matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
that
it was
one.
just titties, but you said big titties.
I mean, it just
Yeah, you said big titties.
Big titties, how it's, but we respect all titties.
But
So-
titties are like little titties. Titties, big ass
It's
titties.
like commas.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I get it. So
Yeah.
little
Other
titties, little titties,
So,
big
yeah.
ass titties.
TJ, I want you to say here on air on Ladies Night because that's what we do. Ladies want to know: are you single?
Yes.
Oh Lord.
I'm out here. I am out here.
What does that mean?
I'm living life.
What does that mean?
Living his best life.
Living my best.
You say you're
Okay.
not single. You out here?
I'm living life. That just sounds better. Like,
Wait. Oh. So, but you are single. So you didn't say like, no, I'm not single. You just saying.
is any man really single?
Does a female?
Ew.
wait a minute.
Right now.
Does a female out there think that she's in a relationship with you? How about that?
Exactly.
There might be some crazy
Would
people.
somebody
though.
get
That's
mad
not-
at you saying you single?
He said that's not on
Whoa,
me.
that's not on me. That's not on
No,
me.
it is.
Whoa.
Well, is there a female out there that thinks that she's in a relationship with
Do you have an anniversary with someone?
Yo, who remembers those? Those are crazy.
you know, he's not answering the question I asked.
No, I'm talking to somebody though. I'm not gonna lie to
Okay.
y'all. But honestly, like, is anybody like nobody's really like
You're single? Or, okay, do you consider
I was
single
so
until
upset.
you're
Oh,
married?
just-
Until
You're
you're married?
Wow.
I think you.
Come on.
I think
She
you,
missed that part.
What I'm trying to say.
Do you
You
consider
are
yourself?
Obligated to whatever contract you sign up for.
Yeah.
So it's not single till marriage or whatever. You just if you
They
sign
ask
up
if
for
they're exclusive.
yeah,
You
if
just
you
can't
sign
ask
up,
if
if
they're
you
single.
said out your mouth like we gonna be like this, then that's how you supposed to be.
Oh, you guys in an open relationship?
They haven't established it.
It's not maybe not like we haven't had the what are
This
we
wouldn't be ladies' night
conversation.
if we didn't ask. That's
Yeah.
all.
No, that's cool.
He's so funny.
What I'm gonna do get beat up like?
No, I don't know.
We out here.
All right. Well,
Is she listening?
I don't know.
You
Moni,
don't mix work and pleasure, man. Like,
wait, what?
you don't mix business and pleasure, man.
Yeah.
As you should. That's right. I agree with that.
Messy.
Moni, go ahead and give them a shout out. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. Never Not Moni, MONIE, and Never Not. Y'all know how to spell that.
And your show is every Tuesday.
Our show is every Tuesday at 8:30. Yes, you can find us here. We got Love for Ladies Night. Thank you for letting me get on the mic. I didn't
Of
plan
course.
to, but
I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. I want to give that vibe of where like you can feel welcome coming here all the time and just we talk about shit like that ladies talk about when they get together with their homegirls. So
No,
that's
I
what we
feel
do.
that. Yeah, I know I live like 5 minutes down the street.
Do you
by the
really?
way.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
That's why I was like, let me stop by here.
Yes, always come.
Yeah, I
stop
wanted
by.
to meet the
Wow.
guys because I hadn't met them yet.
Now I'm really gonna hold you up to coming to our show. When your
No,
Fridays are
I
free.
mean, like, if anybody's ever locked out, I got a key.
Boom.
Just hit me.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So just FYI, Ladies Night Radio Show is doing their first live show at the end of this month.
What?
It's been said. Okay, we don't have a freaking location yet. We don't know what's going on, but we just know it's going to happen. I've learned from Keith, you just got to put a freaking deadline and everything shit's going to happen. So,
Yeah.
Madi, I hope you can join us.
Yes.
It's at the end of this month on the
Okay.
last Friday of August. We're going to have our first live show. We want to invite all of our listeners to come out and hang out with us and pray with us because we're going to be turning up. I'm a little nervous. I just think about it. I'm nervous. And then also
Pray
the good
with
news.
us. You girls have already done a live show.
We didn't do a live show. It was more of a remote show. And we interviewed the singers
Yeah.
at Lucky Strike.
Yeah, they knew they were coming to us.
We didn't have an
to, like,
audience.
go out and ask people to come.
When I
to
have
the
an
mic.
audience, that makes me nervous.
Jackie, you should
okay, I
not
get
be
it.
nervous about that. You did that before.
I did it with
With-
Keith, and I was
Okay.
his co-host.
That is
There's a
true.
difference. Keith is a great like host and
Moderator
Like, yeah,
and
I'm just hanging there on the side. Now I'm the host, so I'm a little nervous.
But you know, y'all already lit, and it's gonna be y'all people's there,
Oh
and
my
it's gonna
God.
be good news
I'm
people
so
there.
nervous.
It's gonna
Okay,
be good.
I'm nervous for our showcase too. By the way, TJ, I don't know if you about know this. So I'm gonna tell you on air right now. The Good News is planning a Good News showcase in September. So you heard, and it's actually on September 14th. So that's another event that's going on. It's our first ever showcase. We are inviting everybody. This place fits about 100 to 150 people. We're gonna be selling tickets.
gosh.
We're gonna be performing, and we're gonna give the people a taste of what the Good News is. And so Keith, myself, Michael, and Kirsten, we're planning it right now, and I'm excited. But I got
Dang.
butterflies in my stomach for that too because that's 150 people.
It's gonna be on some like bad boy.
It's gonna have to be dope. Like we're gonna take this on the road.
Yeah.
People are gonna want to
Young
see
Money,
it.
Cash Money.
It's gonna be
Cash
so
Money.
dope. Oh my god, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
But anyways, so make sure you guys tune in and follow us on that so you guys can find out the dates. But again, the Ladies Night Radio Show live show is August 30. Is August have 30 or 31 days?
I think it's 30.
August 30th, the last Friday of August. That's our live
August
show.
30th.
Come see us. Once I know the spot, I'm gonna tell y'all. Please come support us, so people think that we really do have listeners. And then
we have people that care about us.
We do have.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And then the Good News Showcase is September 14th. So make sure y'all come out. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, if you got nothing to do, come to the yacht party. It's all white yacht party tomorrow. The boat leaves at 8:00. Me and Moni will be there from the Good News. We'll be turning up in our white. What? Anybody else? Come out. That's pretty much it. TJ.
Party. This is some real bad boy shit.
Yeah.
That's
You
what I
want
said.
to
I'm
come
gonna do
tomorrow?
I might actually.
Come tomorrow. The boat leaves at 7:30 or 8:00.
I got it.
7. Let's just 7:30.
7:30.
It's all white though. That mean I gotta go somewhere and find some white pants.
Yeah, you do.
I don't even own a pair of white pants.
I know.
I'd be scared to wear
go
white
get
pants.
you some white Levi's and you good to go.
Well, we end the show by saying you are enough because this is a ladies night radio show and we talk to our ladies, so we're gonna go ahead and you guys can join us in this. We're gonna go ahead and say that, you know.
You said you were scared to wear white pants.
Yeah, you just never know. I mean, you don't have no problems with
I was
that, but as a lady,
Oh, yeah.
I never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Are these pants turning pink or red? I don't know.
I was gonna say, man, your bowels acting.
Thank you for
no, it's the wrong hole.
TJ, thank you for joining us. Oh my God! Next time you come, we'll have a crazier topic for y'all. Okay.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Sure.
We'll get down and
We'll
grown
get-
and dirty for
yeah.
the grown and sexy only.
yeah, we'll do that just for y'all. But anyways, thank you for joining us here on Ladies Night Radio. It was one of our
No, I
serious
enjoyed it, man. Thank
topics.
y'all.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
All right. I
Because we was
wasn't
not going to let you leave until you
until
said
you
that.
said it.
We're going to slash your
wait.
tires. And
Right. Well, thank you for spending your Friday night here with us. I'm your host, Mysterious Jax. This is Ladies Night Radio Show. And just remember one thing, ladies.
You are enough.
Hey.
My city, tell me what you see. Is it money or it's me?
So what he does what happened was,